Well, Arise Chief Correspondent John Cookson joins us now from Tel Aviv. Hello, John. Thank you so much for keeping us updated with all the developments in this crisis. Now, straight to it, what's the latest you're hearing from Gaza on the evacuation?
Hi there, ladies. Good to be on Newsday. Well, that evacuation seems to be underway. The warning from Israel to get out came at 2 a.m. This morning, so the hours have been slipping away and people have been getting out the best they can, trying to head south. Perhaps we can take a look at a map of Gaza to see the area that we're talking about. And if you could cut a line halfway across the middle, that's where they need to get to from that area marked Erez crossing all the way through Gaza City and down into the south to Khan Yunis and Rafah. It's a long walk. And I've seen images of people on donkeys, which I'll be using in a news report later. But to move 1 million people in 24 hours in any country, let alone an enclave under siege and has been bombed by the Israelis, it's just it's just an unbelievable request, frankly. And I don't know whether everyone will, in fact, move. And Hamas have been telling people to ignore the instruction from the Israelis and stay where they are, which, of course, would, in the propaganda war that Hamas is waging, would suit them, because the people, frankly, a little more than cannon fodder for the images that will emerge of people, racing for cover and trying to get out of the north of Gaza, which will bring criticism from Western nations and pressure groups around the world. So it's a very, very difficult situation. And the other point to make is that down in the south, they're no more safe than they are in the north, because the south is also being bombed by the Israelis from time to time.
Well, John, Hamas called for a day of resistance today. Is there any evidence of that?
Just a little, not very much, but it's only, 8 minutes past 3 in the afternoon here at the moment. So there was trouble in Jerusalem. We're looking at images of Damascus Gate in the old city of Jerusalem right now, where Muslim worshippers heading to the Al-Aqsa mosque complex were prevented by Israeli soldiers from entering the mosque, and rubber bullets were fired at some point. To the old city, of course, sacred to Muslims, Christians, and Jews, and indeed the Jewish Sabbath starts in just a few hours from now for 24 hours. So tensions in East Jerusalem, and there's the potential for trouble in the West Bank too. But as I say, nothing so far. But then again, it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now, on the diplomatic front, of course, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is now in Qatar. What's he hoping to achieve there?
He's doing a whistle-stop tour of Qatar. He's already been in Jordan meeting Mahmoud Abbas. He'll also go to Saudi Arabia and to Egypt. And all of those countries, to a certain or lesser degree, have influence with Hamas. And I suspect he's talking to those nations about trying to persuade Hamas to release some hostages. Possibly cash will change hands as a result of that. But that could be one issue that he's talking about. The other is to try to persuade Hamas to give up the fight. But that's not going to happen. And it's also a third point, to try and coalesce the Arab coalition in that part of the world into a broad consensus as to what is going to happen in this Palestinian crisis. So important meetings by Blinken on his whistle-stop tour of the Gulf states and Egypt.
Well, John, we've been talking of a ground invasion of Gaza by Israeli forces. When is that likely?
That's got to be in the next 24 to 48 hours. And it's in Israel's interest to get it done and get it done quickly. And this alarm telling Palestinians to get out of the northern territory of Gaza Strip surely is the opening shots of what might be a campaign by Israel to move into Gaza in a big way. But and I mentioned this earlier, the Israeli Sabbath starts in about 3 hours from now, and generally speaking, then Israel, nothing happens in Israel for 24 hours. So my guess is that the earliest that we can see any action, any incursion by the Israelis will be late tomorrow night, but that's just a guess.
Right. Well, thank you for continuing to be our eyes and ears on the ground. That's Arise Chief Correspondent John Cookson. Thank you so much.